The AMD 7900 GRE is widely accepted by people who at least know hardware to be the best value GPU money can buy right now, at least if you're going for a new GPU. 16 gigabytes of VRAM on this thing, incredibly good performance, and most importantly, low cost for what it is. This one here is the Power Color Hellhound 7900 GRE, so it's going to have really good performance, really good thermals as well. Let's jump into some extremely demanding 2023, 2024 titles just to show how incredibly capable this GPU is. And you know what? Let's test these games at 4K and 1440p and really see what this thing can do. Okay, so we're going to start with the GOAT here. This is Baldur's Gate 3, 4K native, max settings. Hardest area of the game for a GPU and a CPU. All the settings here on the left. Hopefully I'm not missing any. I do have my CPU set to balanced eco mode. It's not going to be an issue playing at 4K, 1440p. And you're going to get a solid 80 in the most demanding area of the game. Not an easy to run game, obviously. Maybe a little bit of FSR for the FPS chasers. We'll just go with quality. My screen maxes at 144. So get a little bit more there. Again, back to the demanding area here. You'll be fine. Let's swap down to 1440p. 1440p now, native. Quite good FPS, obviously. Okay, another area now, outdoors, 1440p. You'll see this, obviously the FPS skyrocket here. We're at 1440p native. I'm not going to need any DLS. You can, I guess, if you want. So this is Final Fantasy 4K max, beginning of the game. I just bought it. I have extremely little experience in this game, so let's see how this goes. So it looks like at 4K you're going to be, well, close to 100. Some lows here and there, that might just be due to combat pop in and things. I'm attacking something, that thing. So the 1% lows look good, but the 0.1% lows don't look great in this game overall. I think that's more of a game engine issue. And again, we're locked at 120. The game apparently just doesn't go above 120. But looks like you're going to get your 120 basically locked. Okay, Last of Us now. 4K. Native. Ultra. So it looks like we're going to get, there we go. So it looks like we're going to get probably just shy of 60 for a native experience here. Let's throw on just the lightest bit of scaling. Well, I guess that's the lowest we can go, so just quality. That should be a huge jump in performance. Yeah, so you're going to be at a native 50 to 55 on 4K max. Throw on the lightest scaling and you're going to be way up at max on 4K. You could also turn it a couple of the settings down if need be, if you need it to be above 60 without scaling. Same settings, 1440p, however, no scaling now. So max 1440p. And you're going to be quite high FPS here. So even with a relatively high refresh monitor, you're going to be fine. One thing to point out here is that at 4K, we're actually using more than 12 gigabytes of VRAM. So something like a 4070 Super, 4070 Ti, you'd be sweating here, big time. This is a 16 gigabyte VRAM GPU though, so it's a non-issue. Just gives you that overhead to actually enjoy the card. Okay, here is Horizon Forbidden West, 4K max, native. Very demanding scene here with that far draw distance. Quite good performance for 4K native max. Let's come over here. Watch the FPS go up, obviously. Could lower the settings down just a touch here and there, but I think the best bet is to probably just throw on the lightest amount of scaling. That's just quality there, just a little wee bit. And you're going to be well above 60 now. Great lows too. Very good. So 1440p native obviously is going to run just fantastic. No scaling needing whatsoever. Throw on just the lightest amount of FSR again. I want to try frame gen. I don't normally like frame gen, but we'll see what it does for us here. So this is with frame gen now at 4K, the lightest FSR. So if you really want to be at high FPS on 4K, you can throw on just the lightest amount of scaling and some frame gen here.
A lot of arrows in that machine. Better take a closer look.
Sometimes I find frame gen does weird stuff on these stairs. Let's see here. It's doing fine. No artifacting. Okay, so we'll do some Starfield now. Brutal game. For how bad it looks, I guess I'd say. It runs pretty bad. I don't think we're going to start with any scaling, though. So we'll start with that off, just see what we get as a native max setting here. It's not going to run well. Okay, so native 4K. I mean, it's doing all right, actually, considering the game is maxed out. This game kind of runs like crap, so. GPU is pulling, obviously, a max 270 there. CPU is not being hit too hard at 4K. I mean, it's going to run better than the consoles, which run at 30. Let's throw on some scaling, though. So 75% scaling. A little bit of a jump, but not much. I find scaling doesn't do much in this game. Let's turn it up. Yeah, another 10 FPS, 11 FPS. So I mean, you can play like this, I guess. If you want to be around 60, it's probably fine. The game generally runs like crap, especially for how bad it looks. Okay, so now with frame gen, huge jump in performance, obviously. Now you're up to like an actual respectable frame rate. 4K. Let's turn down some of that scaling now, maybe like way down. Maybe just like 80 or something, 90, something like that, because we have frame gen on. Maybe it'll be enough. Yeah, so you can turn the scaling way down and just leave the frame gen on. It actually looks pretty good. And the frame gen isn't causing too much, like any trailers or anything like that. So I think it's potentially a necessity in this game, regardless of the GPU. I haven't really tested frame gen much in this game, but I find that without it, the game runs like crap. So I'm gonna try a little bit of ultra wide. I don't have an ultra wide monitor, but I'm gonna set it to 1440p ultra wide and just not in a just in a window. And I just want to see what it does. So 1440p ultra wide native, just man, we can do it. So why not? So on a native 1440p ultra wide, you're gonna get your easy 60, which is actually kind of nice. Dropping down a little bit below 60, but I'd still consider it essentially 1440p ultra wide, 60 gameplay, maxed out, no scaling at all, no frame gen, nothing like that. Okay, we're into Alan Wake. Let's see here. Oh, 1440. So we're going to try without scaling to start here. Just see what happens. Probably not going to run very well. Let's go with, I don't know, high. Just a preset. Apparently it turns down some things, but we'll just go with high there. Get a baseline. So baseline high 4K is going to be like a 30 experience. Again, another game that runs incredibly bad for how it looks. Let's jump in here and throw on maybe some scaling before we play with settings. Try balanced FSR on high. Yeah, that's probably the way to go. Pretty much get you up above 60. Lows are fine. A split of 30 for 0.1% lows is fine, to be honest. You're not going to notice like stutter. So on high presets, you're going to need to max. On 4K, you're going to need to throw on some balanced. So 1440p native now on high. That's going to be an easy 60, obviously. So it's a native 1440p 60 experience. Welcome back, Anderson. Mrs. Anderson. Let's try a little scaling. Balanced. For those FPS chasers. Oh wow, big jump. Okay, so you can actually do, you know, some 1440p high FPS. I don't think it really matters in this game. It's a pretty slow game. Not that I'm very far into it, but... Okay, Resident Evil 4 now. 4K prioritized graphics. No scaling. And there's your easy 80. It's funny that this game looks basically the same, if not better, than Alan Wake, and it runs at double the FPS. Which game would you rather play?
How far could he have gone?
At max. See how that goes. That sounds fun. Look at that VRAM usage. 14.44. Let's jump into the game. Back in now with max settings. Okay, back in now with the max settings there. I guess the FPS went down a little bit. No scaling, so you're going to be able to just max this game out realistically. And just enjoy it. Okay, so now we're going to do some Cyberpunk. This is 4K Ultra. So just maxed out, no scaling. You're not going to get 60, but you're getting 50, so definitely play like this without any issues whatsoever. Let's try just the lightest amount of scaling. Just try quality. Let's just try quality. I think that's easily going to get us above 60. Yeah, 65. So just the lightest deal, lightest FSR, and you're easy above 60. So this is how I play. Just still pretty good, 54. And then up here you'll be at an AC 60. I'm going to turn that back up, but we're just going to try it on high instead of ultra. I just want to see what the difference is without scaling. So if you just want to really play on native, can high get it done. Yep, so you can go with ultra, which is the lightest scaling, or you can go high just native, and you're going to be at 60 in either way. Basically very similar. I would personally use the scaling because you can't really tell that it's on, but let's try a little ray tracing. It's probably not going to run that well at 4K. So we'll try ray tracing medium at 4K, which is going to be crazy. But we're going to need scaling, obviously. So we'll try performance here with ray tracing medium at 4K. Oh, it actually does work. So this is ray tracing medium at 4K, but with performance FSR, obviously. Honestly, it's pretty good. It's playable, right? That interface. 1440p. And we'll go native to start on ultra. So ultra, native, 1440p. So if you're a 1440p gamer, you're just going to basically throw it on ultra and play. No need for any scaling, obviously. Even over here, no issue. Looks great. Ray tracing medium again, I think is probably fine. And FSR, we probably won't need performance, so we're just going to try balanced this time. Oh, that's actually much higher than I thought it would be on ray tracing. Let's turn up the ray tracing, I guess. That's probably going to be closer to 50 or 60. Oh, it's still doing really well. So at 1440p, there's a huge jump in how well you can do ray tracing. Even just with balanced FSR. We can probably turn the FSR down to quality, honestly. It's doing very well. It's doing better than I thought at 1440p. The GRE has ray tracing ability. It's not some piece of crap card. People may think, oh, you can do ray tracing on AMD? Well, yeah, obviously. This is ray tracing ultra with just quality FSR. Just the lightest amount of FSR. Just so that we're at 60. Ray tracing overdrive, 1440p. We are going to need scaling. Let's try performance. So ray tracing overdrive, 1440p with performance. Oh wow, it actually does work. Fascinating. So I mean, you're going to be dropping down from 60 down to 48, but I mean, you can easily play a game at 50 FPS. Don't let the haters fool you. We spent decades playing at 30 FPS. So 45 is nice. I actually play games intentionally often at 45. On my PS5, I play Hogwarts Legacy Unbalanced, which is a 45 FPS experience. I mean, overdrive ray tracing does work really well. Look at that. It looks pretty sick. I'm not going to be a hater. Okay, so where are we at for settings here? I've heard this game runs like crap. I played the first one a ton, but I've heard the second game runs really bad. So that's 4K. There are settings here, custom. I don't know, high. So we'll just go 4K high, I suppose, to start. I have quite the CPU here, so it's kind of designed for these style games. Obviously, if you have more stuff going on, the game's going to run poorer. Oh, look at those frame rates. I've heard it's runs kind of bad. What can we do here? Is there any type of scaling in this game? It only it only has DLSS. Are you actually kidding me? Wow. It doesn't have FSR at all or XESS. Is that a joke? I'm gonna Google that. What? The upscaler that supports every GPU, like every GPU, AMD, Intel, and NVIDIA. Is this like an NVIDIA sponsored title? I'm not too sure. Maybe. Scaling on this because this developer is crap, apparently. I mean, the game runs horribly, I've heard, and people just pan this game saying it runs like crap, plays like crap. For some reason, turning it to medium made it run worse. Oh, it's doing texture. Oh my god. It's got to load in all these trees. Yeah, it's just... Yeah, I mean, can anything run this game? So that's 1440p. Yeah, I'll try that. Try medium, make the game work. Here we go, we can play the game. You just gotta turn it to 1440p on medium. Since you can't scale. I'm genuinely curious if this is a NVIDIA sponsored title and they just didn't add FSR. Which is sad, because I mean, anyone who's on a 1000 series, NVIDIA is also screwed. I don't think it would run on them anyways. Right. Game looks like it runs pretty bad. I don't have any frame of reference, so I'm going to have to load up on my 4090 laptop and just see if DLSS really does anything. But I mean, it's pretty bad that we're running on medium here at 1440p and we're getting like that. But I mean, it works. You can play the game, obviously. Okay, so this is Palworld now. We're at high settings 4K. It's native. Apparently there's no FSR in this one either. It's just DLSS for some reason, which seems backwards. Normally you'd want FSR because it supports like every card. Yeah, but this is pretty good. I've only played this game very minimal amounts. Oh, look at that. On my A770, which runs it like pretty bad. Other than that drop down, it seems to be running well, which is interesting. Let's reset that. That might have been maybe some load in or something as I just started the game. Oh, okay, that might have just been some type of load in because it's running much better now. How do I put away my thingy? Yeah, medium gives you more FPS, but it definitely doesn't look as nice. However, there's a massive jump in performance. Holy crap. It basically doubled the FPS going down to medium from high. It visually does not look nearly as nice, but it still looks fine. I mean, I might even just play like this. It's just running so much better. It's running very good here. Yeah, we'll go high view distance, grass detail. I like the grass being high. It looks nice. Shadows can be high. Effects quality can be medium. Texture quality, let's turn that up. So it's kind of a mixed bag here rather than using a preset. I'm just kind of curious as to what it's going to look like. It does look better. I don't know if it's the texture quality and the grass effects. It just looks, to me, better. Maybe it won't show up on camera, but it definitely looks nice. So that's probably the way to go. Just do a little mix of high and epic or whatever it was. Getting really good performance here now. 140. And again, there is no scaling because it's only DLSS apparently. So this is just native. But it's a sheep. Die. Oh, I feel bad. He's on fire. Does he actually die if I kill him? Sorry, bro. It's for a video. Oh, he's still alive. I think. Oh, he's still alive. I just beat him up and took his... whatever it was. Okay, we're going to do Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga? Sure. I haven't even played the first one, but I've heard this game is very hard to run. So we're at 4K. FSR just on quality to start here. I think we're on high. Yeah, we're on high. So let's just see how that runs. Past the unskippable intro. I'm probably actually going to play this game and play it, but that'll take some time. I'm not going to lie to you, it looks pretty damn good. Yeah, it's not running at 60, but I can see there being an excuse for that because it actually looks fantastic. Versus like Starfield. Alright, relax with that part there. Let's try a little bit more scaling. I mean, maybe further on. I'll play a bit and I'll come back if it changes, but let's try balanced. Oh, wow, okay, big jump. Okay, so you're probably going to want to just throw it on balance. Some dude's up there. Throw it on balanced FSR, and you can play on high as a result.
She's so far from home.
The game looks
From all
really
she's
good.
ever known, half drowned, lost in a world still clouded to her eyes. When she won't yield, she must fight on, as she always has.
Maybe medium? So medium with the lower. Oh, massive jump in performance. Okay, so the settings here actually do make a big difference. Going from high and medium was a huge jump. However, visually I can also tell the difference. Let me just go back one more time. This is a bit of a subjective analysis, but let's go back to high. Yeah, high does look better. Just walking. What's it been? 15 minutes of just walking. Sweet. This is fun. I'm having fun. Anyways, so I have no idea what's going on. I've just been walking around in this game for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Am I supposed to line this up? I don't know. There's vines here and they're angry with me. So we'll just test here. So this seems like as good a place as any to test the game properly. So that's basically the 4K performance there. It's going to be quite good. I don't think you really need too much upscaling. Balance is going to be the way to go. Personally, I'd throw it on high. It looks pretty good. So 4K high, you're going to get really good performance here around 60. I just walked for 4 years to get to this point here. And it's around 60 the whole time, realistically, on balanced. The game's hard to run, but it looks pretty good, to be honest, I'd say. I don't think we're going to really need any scaling, to be honest. Can you just turn that off? A TSR? Sure. Okay. So let's just turn that off there. We'll just do 1440p native. Yeah, 1440p native is going to be pretty close to just turn it on and play the game. On high, actually. Quite nice, actually. Let's see what... I turned it down to medium medium presets. Nah, like you can see on her arm and that some of the textures and that the lighting effects, they do look better on high. This might be a rare case of me being like, just play the game on high, because it actually does legitimately look better, to be honest. And I mean, worst case, if you need it, just throw on FSR and just throw on like the lightest amount or something like that. If you need it, you don't, but just say you did. It just looks better. Now, this is an example of a game where it looks incredibly good. So I would personally recommend, turn the settings up as much as you can, and hopefully you can get, good performance out of it, because it does look quite nice. But there you go. That's Hellblade. It looks quite good, actually. That's the video. GRE has been tested. I've been testing it for a few days now. I've actually had it in my system for a long time anyways, but I've been testing it properly for a few days now. This one here is outstanding. I mean, I stand on my opinion that the GRE right now is the best value GPU money can buy. I mean, there's more powerful GPUs, even from AMD, of course. There's NVIDIA GPUs that have other advantages potentially, but if you're looking for incredibly good frame rates at 1440p and 4K, the GRE should be one of the ones you look at, because this thing here offers incredible bang for the buck. You're going to get great performance at 4K, and you're going to get truly outstanding performance at 1440p, and you're not going to have to completely unload your bank account to get some of the competitor cards to this GPU right here. You're going to be able to get good frames without breaking the bank. I've had the ASRock dual fan as well, also a killer option. This is just a 3 fan, so you're going to get a little better thermals, but regardless of what you do, I think you guys should really consider the GRE. Doesn't matter if it's a 2 fan, a 3 fan, whatever it is, pick one of these up, throw it in your system, and watch those FPS go crazy.